Welcome to Soul Therapy with Chelle. I am Chelle Griffin and I practice as a soul doula. I combine therapeutic knowledge and lived experience with a healthy dose of spiritual exploration. Feel welcome to join me as we learn and grow together, exploring the magic and wonderment of experiencing life on earth as a spiritual being. Red flags are everywhere. It's a word that's been, or a phrase that has been around for many years now. And a new way of reframing that, a new way of looking at that is through green flag. And it's not a new term. I certainly didn't coin it. I'm not claiming that one at all. But it's one that I've noticed has been coming up for me this year. And I was having a conversation with my kid a while back and sharing, what are you doing in friendship that is a green flag? And what are you looking for in your friendships that are green flags? And it really made me think about who I am in my relationships and how am I showing up as a green flag for those around me? How am I showing up as a green flag for myself so that I can be present for others as well? And what are the green flags in those I hold dear, that I'm attracted to, that uplift me in that connection and that allow me to feel supported and held? And some of those green flags I wanted to share with you today are making time for yourself and making time for the other. Putting in that effort. It doesn't have to be like grandiose. It can just be like a text message checking in, or a phone call, or a quick email, or pop in for a cuppa, letting them know that they're on your mind. Sending a meme. I've got one girlfriend in particular that she just gets inundated with memes, but that's how we tell each other we love each other and we're thinking of each other. Other ways that there's a green flag in someone is when they challenge you, not in a way that is super confronting, just in a way of like checking in, going, are you sure that's how you feel? Or is that healthy for you? Like, was that a choice you really want to make? Or if they're stuck and immobilized with something going on in their life, going with care and being gentle with them, but authentically checking in and seeing, like, are you in your comfort zone, or is it time to stretch yourself? With love always, and respect, and honouring their own sovereignty and free will. Being around a green flag friend will calm your nervous system. I promise you, every time you would just feel like you're just meant to be there. And the same goes for you being around others. If you're noticing they're feeling calm in your presence, it's a really good match. That's something I really encourage my clients and my kids in particular to notice. What does it feel like in your body when you are around that person? Does it feel uplifting, calming, safe? Or are you feeling on edge or worried about what you're going to say, treading on eggshells? Noticing what that green flag is, and leaning into that. Take the time to get to know someone. I'm an all-in kind of person, and it's been a learned practice. I still remember on my first day of starting my master's in Gestalt therapy that I had said to my therapist at the time, who was encouraging me to study, that I didn't want to be too much for everyone. I would just take my time and observe and learn how to listen in a active and mindful way. And, in that first year, I got pulled up by my lecturers saying, "You're not sharing enough, you're not opening up." And I was like, no, I'm here to tone myself down so I can learn to observe and listen like a proper therapist. What I loved about Gestalt therapy was that we were learning how to really actively listen, but that being in therapy with our client, instead of being closed off and making it all about them, it's building that rapport. It's working on the space in between the client and the therapist. It's sharing as little as necessary with the client, but so that they can feel met with resonance, that you understand or you can relate to what they're going through, so that they feel that their experience is normal and that they can explore that aspect of themselves in a safe way. So I find over the years that I don't just dive into a friendship as easily as I once did. I still love hard, that's in my nature. I like to really get to know someone well, but I take my time. I don't unload in the first few minutes. I notice if there's a connection there and build on that slowly. Another green flag is someone, a friend that is able to hold space for your emotions, the whole spectrum of them. The joy and the laughter is all well and good, but can they hold you when you are going through a really tough time? And it's not saying that it's going to be easy for the other, but is there a willingness there to meet you and be there for you? That's a green flag. Being surrounded by people who want to see you succeed, that they're not sitting there resenting you or jealous or comparing. And God, we've all been guilty of this. I know I definitely have. It takes time to really feel secure in yourself. And yes, I have people around me that I would love to be like, but that's not where I'm at. So I can still celebrate where they're at. I can still feel absolute joy for what they are experiencing and the success that they are achieving in whatever aspect of their life. That's a green flag. And I, in return, ask for that of my friends too, that they offer me the space to celebrate. I will downplay my successes, and I've noticed that that's something that I work really hard to achieve a goal, and then I don't spend much time in the absorbing and the celebration of that experience. Yet I notice with my friends, I really challenge them to go, hang on, let's pause. That was a really big thing you just achieved there. Like, let's really sit in that. How does that feel? Not from a therapeutic perspective, of course, but just really honouring what they've gone through and expressing that pride of seeing all that they've achieved. And that also leads into feeling inspired and being inspired within our friendships and relationships. Feeling motivated, seeing someone in a high point, and that, like, asking them, learning what they've done, how they've been, what they've gone through to get to there. Because, along the way, we're not failing, we're just practicing over and over until we succeed. We're students all through our life in every aspect, and we just keep practicing as students until we master and achieve an outcome. Then we move on to the next one and we practice. That's our ascension. That's goes in our career, our friendships, relationships, any aspect of our life, our schooling and education. We're always growing, especially from a personal growth, a spiritual awakening element. So green flags are those that inspire you, and the green flags are you love seeing them grow, you love seeing your friends shining, and they feel the same for you. It's reciprocal, and that you both are able to show up for each other. It doesn't have to be that you live near each other and you're in each other's pockets every day. That isn't the definition of true friendship. There's convenience in that, and being in similar phases of life. But you know what? I've got friends all over the world who I really hold close to my heart, and that I know in the dead of night I could call any one of them and say, hey, I need you. And I know exactly who's gonna get on a plane, get in a car, cross the globe and be there for me. I know who those people are. We don't have to live in the same neighborhood to feel that closeness. It's just being checking in and being available, and a deep knowing that we are there for each other in any moment, in the celebrations, in the really deep, dark, challenging times. We're there for it all, and we show up for each other. There's also another green flag is they just accept who you are. They just love who you are. And there's no conditions attached. There's no judgment. There can be difference of opinions, but there's no, you can have an open conversation and know you can share of yourself freely. They can do the same. You don't have to always agree on the same things, but there's this openness to really listening to each other's perspective, and you still might not agree at the end, but it doesn't destroy the friendship. It shouldn't destroy the friendship. It's really accepting that, yep, that's who you are, and I love you. I love you no matter what. I love you for all of it. I will call you out when I disagree, and I will listen to you and really hear what you're going through, and we'll work through that together. It's unconditional love. We have that with our family. We need to have that in our friendships, and that's a massive green flag. And finally, the ultimate green flag is that you choose each other over and over and over. It's a celebration of the connection that you have, that you just know that they're your person, and we don't have to have just one person. No one person is going to meet all of our needs, and that's in love and in friendship. That's in all aspects of our life. But knowing that when it came to the crunch, would that person choose you? Would they stand for you? And would you do the same for them? That's a green flag. So really have a think about the friends in your life, the relationships that you have, and go back through those little tips. They're not little, they're momentous, they're massive, they're green, and really think about what aspects in your friendship are really working for you. And maybe you notice some red flags, and that's okay too. That doesn't mean it's an end and that you write off that relationship. It's having a look, go a little bit deeper. Why is that feeling like a red flag? Could there be a disconnect there because there's been a fracture, or there's uncertainty between you, that you haven't been able to drop below that surface level in the friendship? Is there an opportunity for you to open up a conversation together and talk about what it is that you value in your friendship. Imagine if we all just had a conversation with those we hold dear and shared with them what we loved and treasured most about our friendship with them, and what we're looking for to deepen that connection. They'll either be able to meet you or they won't. If they're willing to, that's a green flag. If they're not willing to, that's creating a space for someone new to come into your life. It's all in flow. Change is the one thing that we are certain of in this earthly plane. We're here to learn and grow and expand and shine our light. So I hope this episode has really helped you today. And I'd love to hear what other green flags you notice in friendship and relationship and how we can celebrate them. Go gently. Thank you for showing up for yourself by listening to Soul Therapy with Chelle. Feel welcome to subscribe to my podcast, share the pod with your friends, family, colleagues, and neighbours. And please, if you are willing, I would absolutely love a 5-star review to give my little pod a boost in the algorithms. For further detail on how to work with me, please visit my website www.chellegriffin.com or find me on the socials. I hope you'll join me on my next episode. Till then, go gently and intentionally. With care, Chelle.